She learned very early that strength does not arrive like a gift, it grows slowly in places where hope feels thin. She was never protected from pain, she was introduced to it again and again until pain became a familiar language. She did not choose this path, but she learned how to walk it with her head held high even when her heart felt heavy. She is the woman who stayed when leaving felt impossible, and the woman who left when staying was destroying her soul. She has lived both versions, and both cost her something. They called her difficult. When she spoke her truth, they called her weak. When she stayed silent, but none of them ever asked what it took to survive inside her mind. She carried dreams that had no space to breathe, responsibilities that were never hers to carry, and expectations that ignored her humanity. Still she woke up every morning, and tried again, not because she was fearless, but because giving up felt heavier than continuing. Unbroken women are not loud about their pain, they do not announce their struggles, they hold the storm inside, and show the world a calm sky because they know not everyone deserves to witness their wounds. They have learned that vulnerability is sacred and must be given carefully. She knows what it feels like to be needed, but not valued, to be loved conditionally, to be praised only when she is useful. She knows the exhaustion of constantly proving her worth, and the quiet liberation of finally realizing she never had to. She has been the emotional anchor in rooms where everyone leaned on her strength, while no one noticed her shaking. She learned how to pour from an empty cup because no one taught her how to ask for help, and when she finally did, she discovered that sometimes the bravest thing is admitting you cannot do it alone. Her heart has been bruised by promises that were never meant to be kept, and by words spoken carelessly by people who never considered their weight. Yet she still believes in sincerity, she still believes in goodness, because bitterness would have been easier, but she chose growth instead. She understands that healing is not forgetting, it is remembering. Without bleeding, it is learning how to hold the memory, without letting it define your future. She has forgiven not because they deserved it, but because she deserved peace. An unbroken woman is deeply aware of her flaws, yet she does not let them shrink her. She has made mistakes, trusted the wrong people, stayed too long, and left too soon, but she learned from every chapter and carried the lessons forward with grace. She has felt invisible in spaces where she gave everything, unheard in conversations where her voice mattered, and replaceable in places where she sacrificed herself, and those moments taught her the most important lesson, that her presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. She has mastered the art of rebuilding, starting again with trembling hands and a tired heart. She has learned that starting over does not mean failure, it means courage, it means choosing life even after it disappoints you. Unbroken women hold contradictions beautifully. They are soft yet unyielding, gentle yet firm, loving yet selective. They know when to open their arms and when to protect their peace. They have learned boundaries not as walls but as acts of self-respect. She no longer chases validation, she no longer shrinks to fit spaces that were never meant for her. She understands now that the right places will never ask her to dim her light. She has cried in bathrooms, whispered prayers into pillows, and stared at ceilings wondering how much more she could take, and every time she thought she reached her limit, she discovered another layer of strength beneath the exhaustion. She is not untouched by pain, she is shaped by it. Her laughter carries depth, her silence carries wisdom, and her eyes tell stories that words never could. She has lived enough life to know that happiness is not constant, but peace is possible. Unbroken women learn how to love themselves in pieces, because sometimes wholeness takes time. They celebrate small victories, quiet growth, and moments of calm because they know how rare those moments can be. She has outgrown versions of herself she once needed to survive. She no longer apologizes for evolving. She understands that growth will make some people uncomfortable, and she accepts that without guilt. She has learned to listen to her intuition, that quiet inner voice that warned her before the pain arrived. She trusts herself now in ways she never did before because trusting others taught her how dangerous doubt can be. An unbroken woman knows the difference between loneliness and solitude. She no longer fears being alone because she learned how to enjoy her own company. She learned that being alone is better than being surrounded by people who make you feel unseen. She has learned that love should feel safe, that respect should feel natural, and that effort should be mutual. She no longer romanticizes suffering, she no longer confuses pain with passion. She carries empathy without losing her self-compassion, without self-abandonment and love, without self-betrayal. She gives from overflow now, not from emptiness. Unbroken women are not defined by their trauma, they are defined by their response. They are defined by the way they keep choosing kindness without allowing themselves to be used. She knows that some chapters end without closure, that some apologies never come, and that some people will never understand the damage they caused, and she has learned how to move forward anyway. She does not need to be saved, she saved herself in moments no one witnessed. She held her own hand when the world let go. She walks differently now, with intention, with awareness, with a quiet confidence that comes from surviving what was meant to destroy her. An unbroken woman is not perfect, she is real, she is layered, she is still healing, and still hopeful, and that balance is her power. She stands as proof that you can lose pieces of yourself and still become more, that you can be hurt deeply and still love honestly, that you can be tired and still continue. She is still here, still breathing, still choosing herself, and that is the miracle they never saw coming. She is unbroken not because life was kind,